This is John chapter 14, verse 6. It says, Yahawashi said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
So Yahawashi is the way, the truth, the life. You know, niggas say niggas be falling. Last night, do you know who was the truth last night?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is the truth today.
Right?
Mayweather was the truth last night.
Right.
You know, Blake Griffin is the truth, right? You know what I'm saying? But
I ain't never really heard that. I can't really say I heard that.
And you should have seen the plays he made last night. Okay?
Right.
But you know, but none of them niggas is the truth. Yahawashi is the truth. But that whole terminology, that's Jake terminology that comes from the scripture. Because what was spoken to Yahawashi is the truth. Right? Go ahead though. Read that old start at the top of 6.
John 14:6. Yahawashi said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
So Yahawashi is the way. He is the way. Following him, that's the way to salvation. He is the truth. Following him, you got the truth. He is the life. Following him, you get life. Because he's dead right now. Right? Read.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
No man.
That's why I say he has made into a quickening spirit to give us back our life. Go ahead.
No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So no man cometh to the Most High God but by who the world ignorantly calls Christ. Real name Yahawashi. That is the only way to come to the Most High. Okay? So we need Yahawashi. Yahawashi is imperative to us. So these people that want to deny Yahawashi, you will be in for a rude awakening. Okay? You need Yahawashi. We all need Yahawashi. Go to Genesis 49:2. And it's an Old Testament prophecy that we would need Yahawashi for something very key in life. Alright? Very key to our people. Okay? We're trying to wake the hell up out here through the spirit.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. It says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah.
That's right, read.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come.
That's right, until Shiloh comes. Shiloh is an omen nomen for who the world ignorantly calls Christ. So this is an Old Testament prophecy about who the world calls Christ, second coming. And it refers to him as Shiloh. Right, read.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
So unto Shiloh shall the gathering of the people be. So unto Yahawashi shall the gathering of the people be. So we all going to be gathered by Yahawashi. So we need Yahawashi. Because following Yahawashi and Yahawashi's kingdom being established is going to have all of our people gathered back together. See, go ahead.
That's the answer for you. That's the answer that you Kemetic and Egyptologists, you know, like you conscious that you black conscious dudes is asking. That to the question you guys are asking, man. What's gonna get us to, you know, us blacks, you know, to come together, man, and establish a community and to, you know, to build back up? What's gonna bring us all together, man? The scriptures tell you that. The scriptures has the answers, man. The scriptures is sway.
That's right.
Right? It has the answers.
That's right. And this is the thing. And this is the thing too. You gotta understand, Yahawashi is known as the stone that the builders refused. Because especially the commit, we ain't waiting on no motherfucking sky God, no Jesus to come about the sky and save us. But that's what it was talking about when Yahawashi said, man, I'm the stone that the builders refused, man. Okay? I'm the one that they didn't want. I'm the one that they don't want, that they reject. But I'm the only one that's going to get it back together. Because at the end of the day, we are the only people that are looking to be gathered together and for a solution. White man ain't looking for that. The Gook ain't looking for that. These other people ain't looking for that. It's us, the black and Hispanic, that's looking for a solution. And the only solution is Yahawashi. Okay? That is the only solution. He's the one that's going to gather us back together in righteousness. You understand what I'm saying? But our people want to reject that. And this is how we know the scriptures are true. Because again, the scriptures speak about us being dispersed. So we need to be gathered back together. Right? Everybody else ain't got that damn problem. You understand what I'm saying? So clearly, if it prophesied that we was going to be in this predicament and what we would be, or that a group of people was going to be in this predicament, that same group of people who we fit the description of, then we should understand that if they told us that this was going to happen before it actually happened, then we should know what this says for us to do in order to get out of this situation. We should follow that. But niggas are stupid, but it's only the fulfillment of prophecy that the stone that the builders had refused had become the chief of the corner. Okay, had become the centerpiece to our entire nation. The foundation of which our whole nation is built upon. Okay? But go ahead. That was verse 10. So go to Isaiah 64 rather.
That little bitch look like a little dirt.
64 starting at 6.
faggot couple like that, or a dyke couple like that needs to stop. I'm just gonna ask the female one. I'm like, would you ever? I'm gonna ask them. I'm like, hey, would you ever date a 13-year-old? More than likely, her answer is gonna be like, of course not. I'm like, so why you would date somebody that look like her? Bitch, let me ask. Do you know the last time when I looked like her?
At 13.
No, I looked like her maybe at like 10 or 11. Just smooth face and shit.
Look like you ain't really grew up too much.
You know,
You ain't been through nothing.
When you hit like, when you start going through puberty, bro. When you start going through puberty, like you really start kind of getting like real manly features. You know?
Yeah. You start looking like how you gonna look.
For real. And then basically everything else from there just kind of what? Hair. You know, hair kind of gives you that, you know, older look, and then from there, you know, getting up until, you know, your midlife, it just start, you know, you start getting wrinkles and shit. That's pretty much how it is. Man.
Yeah, structure in your face and everything. Jawbone might grow a little bit.
64 what? But you know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, your body more so your body changes. You know, getting older and older rather than, you know, just your face.
64 and 6 to 12.
64. Talking to my auntie that day, she keeps trying to tell me, cut your beard, preserve your youth. I cut my beard, man, I'm looking like a fucking
Number one, first
ass boy.
off, the youth is dealing with folly, man. That's folly in youth. The scriptures say, when I was a youth, I spoke as a youth. When I became a man, I spoke as a man.
That's right.
Okay? So all that youth bullshit, the youth, we are youthful. No matter we got a beard on our face or not, we use our youth.
Me having a beard on my face don't take from.
Okay? So they found his grandmama died.
They're like, oh gosh, that's when they start getting them spots, huh?
Yeah.
Blood spots.
The Lord, that sun is just fucking them, man. Okay, just. I mean, I'm talking about you motherfuckers. I don't understand why a cracker would even come to California, Southern California. Why?
Miami.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Or Arizona. Or any desert.
You be your ass in Wisconsin, some goddamn. But all you white people get melanoma. Okay. That's how we have fun. Okay.
This is how we have fun, all right?
Fun. So this damn devil, look at her. This so-called white woman is a slut in a whore.
She's a fucking slut in a whore.
She in a car with two niggas, and then she looking at the young niggas smiling.
I'm talking about grinning from June to June.
That's crazy. But go ahead.
Isaiah
verse
chapter
6, read the 12. Somebody go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But we're all as unclean thing.
We
As an unclean thing.
We are all as an unclean thing. We're all as an unclean thing. Here's where this Gentile shit come into play. Because we have become an unclean thing as the nation of Israel. We have become like the heathen. Go ahead.
And all our righteousness are as filthy rags.
Our righteousness has become filthy rags. Right, read.
And we all do fade as a leaf.
We're decaying in this place. We are rapidly decaying. See, our flesh, our mortal flesh is dead. We're just dying.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
And that's another reason why, you know, it's not on our custom to even celebrate that decaying of ourselves, man. All right, every year, you know, speaking on your birthday, you're not supposed to celebrate this stuff. You're celebrating death. You're celebrating, you know, rottenness, man. We're rotting away, especially in this fucking captivity that we're in, man. We're rotting away faster than ever.
With this shit that they feeding us. That's when the life was changed from just short of a day to 120 years to 70 years. Like we're rotting, like the brothers will be rotting away at a rapid rate, faster than ever. Especially in this place. In this place, a nigga ain't supposed to make it past 25. And then the nigga make it past that, and then it's like in his 40s. Niggas is dropping dead. So you gotta take that into consideration. Go ahead.
Hey, that's right, man. It's a lot. Because you gotta understand that, like the brother just said, we was just short of a day. Then we dropped all the way down to about 120. Then basically the last records that we have, where the Lord was actually giving brothers, you know, or you know, the old prophets of old, actual, you know, knowledge straight forward. We was all the way down to 70 years, man. So from that time till now, shit, we done dropped down to 40, 50 years old. And then at that time, what you gotta do? You gotta go get your colon checked. You gotta go get your nuts checked. You gotta go get all these fucking tests. You know, when you hit that mid-age.
Just like these cars. A car, you start driving a car, if the car get enough miles, you start breaking down.
That's right. 100,000 miles is, hey, everything is, you constantly putting work into it.
But if you know how to tune shit properly, you know, like out there in Cuba, right, Vanessa, they got some cars from the 30s that's running as good as new to this day. Why are they doing that? Because they have less influence from from Esau. They got less of that influence on that island, and they have less bullshit on that island. So the fact that they have less of that means they can function better. You see what I'm saying? In the kingdom, everything gonna function properly because everything's gonna be ruled in total righteousness.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
And our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away.
Our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. Something blowing in the wind, right? Especially something that's decaying. When you decaying, you get decrepit, you get lighter, the wind can carry your ass away, right? Right. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and there is none that calleth upon thy name that stirreth up himself to take hold of thee. For thou hast hid thy face from us and hast consumed us because of our iniquities.
Meaning the Lord jacked us up and punished us as a result of our sin. Hence why we were able to get taken on a cargo slave ship by this devil and brought to this side of the world. And the Native American and Hispanic man land was able to get taken. And they to get raped, robbed, and murdered along with us. Right? Why did that happen? Because of our iniquities, our sins. Go ahead, Rick.
Verse 8, but now, O Lord, thou art our Father. We are the clay, and thou art our potter.
That's right, read.
It says, and we are all the work of thine hand.
We are all the work of the Most High hand, read.
Be not wroth very sore, O Lord, neither remember iniquity forever.
Exactly. We're asking the Lord to forgive us of our sins. Hence why he sent his son here. So we get the black, Hispanic, Native American man of his sins, read.
Behold, see, we beseech thee, we are all thy people.
We beseech thee, we are all thy people. Now, some people read this verse and say, talking about everybody. But this is the prophet Isaiah. He ain't talking about a goddamn one of you, he hates you. And in his books, he's talking bad about all you nations. He talk about y'all like a dog, okay? Like a straight up dog that you are. You white people are dogs.
That's right.
Beasts on the earth. Pigs. Go ahead,
faggots.
Namely faggots. All right, go ahead.
Says thy holy cities are a wilderness. Zion is a wilderness.
That's
Jerusalem
right.
is desolate.
That holy city are a wilderness. Zion is a wilderness. Jerusalem is desolate, meaning we are destroyed as a people. Because remember, we are a people before we are a place. So when it's talking about Zion being destroyed, it's talking about us. It's talking about the black, Hispanic, and Native American man, right? We are destroyed. We don't know who the hell we are. We are desolate. Our people are stupid. Our people are ashamed. You turn on TV, when you get on the internet, when you look at the black and Hispanic man, it's a goddamn shame that display being shown. Go ahead.
It says our holy and our beautiful house.
Our holy and our beautiful. We are holy and a beautiful people. Right, Ray?
Where our fathers praise thee is burnt up with fire.
That's right. It's talking about the temple. The temple is burnt up with fire, but it also has this metaphysical meaning in our actual ways of worshiping the Heavenly Father. And now it's worshiping this faggot cracker, right, Ray?
Hey, that's what the scriptures say in Romans the 1st chapter. It says that our people are burned with their lust one toward another, man. You see what I'm saying? But not only one toward another, but to other things, idols, material things, and things of that nature. We're just completely burnt with fire, man. And we're also burnt with affliction. All right? It says, and our pleasant things are laid waste. Wilt thou refine thyself for these things, O Lord? Wilt thou hold thy peace and afflict us very sore? That's verse 12.
Okay. Go to verse. Go to Luke 4:18. But on all of that, what is the solution to all of that? We have been going through all of that, but the Lord sent who the world only calls Christ to save us from that. Okay, so we need Him. We need who the world only calls Christ, who Need Yahawashi. We need Him to deliver us out of those things that were being laid out in Isaiah 64. We need Yahawashi for that purpose. We're asking the Lord. See, Isaiah is beseeching the Lord to save us and to forgive us of our iniquities. The Lord answered Isaiah by sending Yahawashi. Okay? That was the answer to that. So when it says the one that spoke about the law of the prophets, that is a prophecy that lines up with that. Okay? And Isaiah prophesied about Yahawashi several times. Okay? In the 7th chapter, or the 6th chapter. the 14th chapter. You know, Isaiah was actually constantly, the 52nd chapter, the 53rd chapter, like Isaiah is constantly prophesying about Yahawashi. Okay? Whether he realized it at that time or not. Yeah, where we at? What I just called? 4 and 18.
Luke chapter 4 verse 18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he hath anointed me.
So then Yahawashi, he said, I am anointed, I am chosen. That's why they call who the world called Jesus. Why did they call him the Christ? Because of this verse right here. It said, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, he has anointed me. The term Christ in Greek means anointed. Okay? So that's why they called him Christ, Jesus Christ. That's not his last name. That's the title that they put on him because he was the Lord's anointed. Read.
To preach the gospel to the poor, he has sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
To the poor and the brokenhearted. Who are the poor and the brokenhearted? The black, the Hispanic, the Native American man. They're the poor and the brokenhearted. When that Indian is on the side of that damn freeway crying, when he see the cracker littering all over the shit, that's the broken. He's brokenhearted because he's seen his land got robbed from him and totally destroyed, and he's seen his people get expelled out of their ancient homeland. Not their original ancient homeland, but they, their secondary homeland, and put on a reservation by the cracker. So he was upset about that. You understand what I'm saying? He brokenhearted. So we the brokenhearted, and we the poor. We the ones that's impoverished. Right, Reed?
It says to preach deliverance to the captives.
And to preach deliverance to the captives. I was just talking to them dudes earlier about who's up in the jails. The black and Hispanic man is up in the jails. We the captives. We the captives that Christ preached deliverance unto. We got to be delivered. This so-called white man ain't got nothing to be delivered from, man. He living it up. He got the height and he's running shit. What the hell does a cracker got to be delivered from, man? Okay? It's the question. Read.
So like it says, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised.
And recovering the sight to the blind, man. Right? To set at liberty them that are bruised. What's going on, bro? But
don't nobody know. If you really want to know, don't nobody know.
Yeah, read that. Matter of fact, read that part again.
It says, and recovering of the sight to the blind.
Recovering of the sight to the blind. We were the blind, but when we were awakened to this truth, we regained our sight. Read.
To set at liberty them that are bruised.
To set at liberty them that are bruised. Because the Lord set us up and gave us the sight so we can preach unto our brethren to set them at liberty because we are bruised. Okay? That's what who the world calls Christ was saying. Right? Go to, give me John. Go to John 10 and start at 9.
This is,
And my man's look like Kevin Durant with dreads, though.
You look like KD.
Look at KD.
And he don't like that. They just be
Nah, I'm not me. I've been let go. I made it safe. I made it back safe off the trip. See, some knowing that we going, and the ones that's not knowing.
You been watching that Phil Valentine? Nah? You don't mess with
Nah,
Phil?
everybody got relayed that message, bro. That's just the activity of it all. You know that, boy. You know that ain't fake. That ain't fake at all. That's just the tour of it all.
Yeah, you right. Go ahead.
This is John chapter 10, verse 9.
My right still right.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
So the Lord is that door, right? Read. Who the world enemy calls Christ? That's that door. Read.
And shall go in and out and find pasture. It says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
Read.
I am come that they might have life.
That's right. So the Most High sent His Son to come that we might have life. So again, the whole point of these scriptures that's being brought out is that we need who the world calls Christ. We need Him, right? We need Him to obtain actual life because we're not living right.
Yeah, because the dead dread life. The dead dread all life isn't all like the omnipresence. Like as far as you can see, you can't turn nowhere, bro. There's no degree that you can go. You'll study this shit until you fucking fall off out here, bro. Like that's it. Everybody got that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but motherfucker, still, the more that you know, the more you don't know.
Because we have known knowns, we have known unknowns. But we also have unknown unknowns.
Yeah.
Shit that we don't know, we don't know about.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
It's cold out here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says,
Where is he?
and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
So the good shepherd giving his life for the sheep, laid his life down, crucified, all of that, right? For the sheep, right?
But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own sheep are not,
Which we dealing with hirelings out here, right? Read.
It says, whose own sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and flee.
The sheep. He don't protect the sheep. So we need the Lord because the rest of these people are hireling. So we need the Lord to come to protect the sheep. We the flock.
Watch out,
We need the Lord to come. Watch out. You gotta let right over.
Come on, you know that. These people came and got me, bruh, and pulled me to the side and said, look, with this, on my mama, I gave dude 2 burning bush sticks for this, bro. And he said it's called indefatigable. You'll never lose time with this. You'll always be able to keep track of time.
How's the power?
He's gonna bust his ass.
Hell yeah.
That's a terrible ass line, man, right there. God damn.
He got a job he doing right now.
He was finna go fall in a hole or something.
Nah. You exactly right. He got a job he doing right now. You're exactly right. But he sure didn't step on that.
It's all information. He look like a little
Yeah, he do like my mom, little nigga.
He didn't know. He didn't. Did he step on the?
He didn't step on any of them. He didn't step on any of them.
You need to fuck on outside the way. I'm praising my law. I'm bumping with that people.
And Allah got you switching down the street.
Don't
even do it. Because you come over here and kick his face.
He's acting like, hey, no. But I'm going to talk to the camera, man. Allah got this motherfucker switching down the goddamn street.
Look how Allah got you boys, man.
Hey,
get your boy, man. Hey, he just said in the name of Allah, man. That's what y'all running down. That's what y'all running around doing, man.
He's a self-hating black faggot Muslim. That's crazy.
Hey man, Imam Bashir, man, I want to hear that song again, man. Hey.
Wait, hold on, there's a song?
Hey man, put that shit with some nice beats, man. We can sell millions. Alright?
In Arabia.
Call Rob up.
Oh man. Can't deal with that shit, bro. Back at John 10 and 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own sheep are not.
Real quick, that guy is bugged. That dude really lost it.
Who?
Last time we seen him, the boy with the dread. Last time we seen him, he wasn't talking that shit.
Hey, nah, he wasn't.
He was cool. Now he's gone.
I had a feeling we was gonna see him though, because there's another dude walking around here that looked just like him with that skateboard.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I thought that was him. Nah, the other dude got a bag though.
He don't even know what's going on. He don't know what's going on with life. Right
No. The thing about it is, bro, he did. Did you hear? He said, everywhere you gonna go, you gonna keep doing. Basically, what he said is, you gonna keep studying this shit and you gonna get bugged out. And I was about to ask him too. So what? You saying you bugged out now?
Because remember, he was talking about that Phil Valentine shit last time. And now look, I don't even fuck with that.
At first, he was against us hating people. That's when he came at us because we were hating.
Nah, he ain't never came at us before, bro. He ain't never came at us.
He was trying to preach that peaceness.
I can say I remember something.
Weed shit.
That's what I'm saying. He got bugged out. The Lord bugged him out.
Yeah, come. Because look, he had been knowing us for, I want to say 2 years we've been knowing that guy. Almost as long as we've been out here, we've been knowing that guy. In this particular spot, we've been knowing that guy.
Shit, him, Lorenzo.
He done had the truth. He done had more than ample opportunity to turn to the truth and get down what we was doing. Cut them stinking ass dreads up off his head and get right. But he didn't. So now where he's at, the Lord got him bugged out. That's a testimony to not coming to the truth when it's right in front of you. And what's going to happen to you.
Hey man, reading all them damn philosophies is just a whole bunch of shit.
He had hella books. He had hella books last time, and he had the DVDs and shit. And he done bugged out. That's why I tell motherfuckers, especially that's new to the truth, don't even watch a lot of that shit, man. Like the zeitgeist, because you get bugged out if you don't know no better.
Yeah.
The zeitgeist is bullshit. The zeitgeist starts off with fundamental inconsistencies, twisting scriptures, and trying to make things into other things. But this is where guys like Phil Valentine get their whole doctrine from, which is bullshit. Talking about all this cosmology. Well, the cosmology of the universe has changed. Therefore, you can't teach that ancient cosmology to modern day people because cosmology is different. And number one, look up into the sky, nigga. You're looking into the path anyway. Go ahead.
It says, seeth the wolf coming, Salah, it says, whose own sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep.
That's right. So we need Yahawashi to come so all of this scattering of the sheep ceases. That's why in Genesis 49 and 10 it tells us, unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So the gathering of the Israelites be, the ones of us that are dispersed. So Jacob was prophesying in that time when it was just 70 souls of us. Look, there's going to come a time where y'all going to get scattered.
That's right. I was talking about, basically these false prophets, preachers, man. All right? And when the so-called white man come, right, which is that fucking wolf, okay, come and get up in their ear, man, they leave the sheep that they allegedly following, because the scripture said they're not the shepherd, they follow, and they leave us scattered, man. All right, and we get swept up.
No answers. And that's why we in the state, in the position that we in today. That's the reason, But go ahead.
Verse 13, the hireling fleeth because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep.
Because he don't give a damn. He care about himself. Go ahead. Verse 15.
Verse 14, I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
That's right. So Yahawashi knows his sheep, and his sheep know him, and we need him, Lord, when we be a part of that fold, to get our deliverance. It is a must. He is key, okay? The Most High sent his son for our deliverance. Go ahead.
Verse 15, as the Father knoweth me, even so I, the Father, and I laid down my life for the sheep.
He laid down his life for the sheep. He laid down his life for these young men that are putting their life on the line for the truth, okay? Go to Isaiah 35, starting at verse 8.
This is Isaiah chapter
35, 8 to 10,
35, verse 8. And an highway shall there be, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness.
That's right. So there will be a highway, a way of holiness. As we know, Yahawashi stated, Luke 4 and 18, that he is the way. So Isaiah, again, is prophesying of Yahawashi, like we said earlier. He prophesies of Yahawashi various times. This is one of those times. He's talking about there should be a highway, right? A holy way. Go ahead. What? What is that? Some water on there? Oh. It's got alcohol, that's why.
It says, and it says, and an highway shall there be, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it.
That's right. So it's something Yahawashi. Yahawashi is that way. He is that way of holiness. So the unclean of our people, the 2/3, is not going to pass over, meaning it's not going to take that way, not going to choose that road. Read.
It says, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up shall not go up thereon.
Why? Because Yahawashi is the door. So because Yahawashi is the door, and he ain't gonna let the wolf come, the sheep is gonna be able to go right through that path, that highway of holiness. Okay, read.
It shall not be found there.
This is key. This is key. Right. That's why I said Isaiah is key, because Isaiah, the 35th chapter, is talking about Luke the 4th chapter and John the 10th chapter. So Isaiah was prophesying all about Yahawashi. We also read it in Isaiah the 64th chapter. We also could have read it elsewhere in Isaiah. Read.
Well, it says, it shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
But the redeemed shall walk there. The redeemed of Israel shall walk there. Through Yahawashi. So we need Yahawashi to be that door and to be that way so we can get life. Okay? We need Yahawashi. That's period. Give me Ephesians 2 and 13.
Did you say you needed to 10?
Yeah, I need to 10. You finish?
Nah, verse 10. And the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs.
And the ransom, okay? We are the ransom, right? Because when you deal with let's say somebody kidnaps somebody, you got to give these people some money or whatever they want, their demands, to get them people back. So the Most High ransomed us with the blood of Yahawashi, okay? Yahawashi died on that cross was a ransom for the elect in the 1/3. And we shall return unto Zion singing. That's when that New Jerusalem is spoken about in Revelation. You got a precept? No. Okay.
And everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
We shall obtain joy and gladness when who the world calls Christ delivered. That's when we're going to obtain joy and gladness. That's when we're going to be happy as real talk.
She's the feds.
Go to Ephesians 2 and 13.
They doped her up and made her walk fit.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 13. But now, in Yahawashi, ye who sometimes were afar off,
You sometimes were afar off, right? Which is us when we was in the world. We were afar off from the Lord. Read.
are made nigh by the blood of Christ.
Are made nigh by the blood of Christ. So when it speaks about our ransom, the blood of Christ was our ransom. Because we are far off and we are made nigh. We are ransomed. We will get delivered by the blood of who the world ignorantly calls Christ. Right? Go ahead.
Keep going.
Oh, no, I just wanted 13. So give me 1 Peter's 1 and 2.
It's a damn shame, man, when you walking with your woman, man, and it's something that clearly she knows that you should have stopped for, but you trying to drag her down the street, but then you also look bad, and you look bad because you didn't stop, but then you also look bad when you didn't stop and you drag her down the street and she keep looking back.
It's a double whammy for
Like,
you.
bitch, what the fuck is you looking at? You know what I mean?
You gonna question her and smack her around.
You know what I mean? Bitch, what is you looking at?
You know?
What the fuck you keep breaking your neck for to look back down the street?
And you trying to drag her down. See, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the so-called black. Like, you're that nigga right there that just walked down the street. The video I just did on, grow the fuck up. Black and Hispanic. That nigga right there is a clown and a big ass fucking kid. I'm gonna tell you what the club is. The club is the playground for grown-ups. You can't wait to get to the playground. They all going down. All them niggas that walk, they all going to the Tipsy Crow right now. Or the shit next to it. What's that shit next to it? I don't know if it's a Tipsy Crow.
The stage.
Onyx.
Onyx.
Yeah, Onyx. They all going to Onyx because I guess it's probably some hip hop shit on Sunday afternoons because I always see a bunch of niggas in front of Onyx.
Yep.
Right? So that's where they're going right now. He can't wait to get to the playground to see his friends at the playground. Right? But he walked by some real, and even his woman had enough smarts in her hand to bear witness to that.
Look at this son.
She had enough to keep breaking it and was so interested in it, but you're gonna drag it down the street. You ain't even gonna take 5 seconds to hear what's going on right now. Cause you're such a clown. And you can tell when you see that nigga that the nigga's a fucking clown. Walking around with that dumbass hat on his head.
Yeah.
Man, and you wonder why you're not taken seriously and you're not respected. Cause look at you. Okay? That's what's wrong with the damn black and Hispanic. Being a big ass, grown ass clown all the time. Tommy the clown ass. Okay? Remember Tommy the Clown Ride?
Yeah.
Right? That's what all these niggas is. Tommy the Clown. Grown ass fucking man. Like now, the Most High kill that nigga, man. When you got robbed in your movie, that's fucking good for you, man. Shout out to whatever niggas went and robbed your ass, man. Okay?
Tommy the Clown was a
Bitch ass nigga.
homosexual.
He was fucking little boys, man.
Raping them little boys, getting them
Really a homosexual, man. When you just look at his demeanor, man.
And then look, they use God to cover it up. They use God as their whole thing to just cover it up. There's always some pedophilia.
And I'm gonna tell you, that whole crumping and clowning shit was actually like the genesis of this bitch ass generation.
Hella.
Cause it went from, even though the crumpers and clowning wearing baggy clothes, then it kind of ushered into the skinnies and all of that.
And then they started
big
jerking.
assness,
Nah,
and
they was
that
that shit, bro.
who?
Well, I ain't gonna say
Listen.
the crumper was.
But what I'm saying
Because
is,
they used to get into it with each other, like fuck you, and they was like,
of
fuck
course,
you.
but
We
that
started this, we started
but that whole
you know?
culture
Yeah.
birthed all of this shit that we got today. Because them same niggas that was doing that switch it up to the other shit eventually. Because they're trendy niggas and they're scary niggas that didn't want to engage in the alternative, which is being a gang member.
Right.
They didn't want to engage in that. They couldn't play sports, so they started dancing. And it's them type of niggas that now tell on people and wear skinny jeans and shit like that. You see what I'm saying?
But
or it's niggas that are really like that wanted to go gangbang and then they get caught up and now they telling on people.
Yeah,
So it's that whole culture that really birthed a lot of bullshit.
It really does bounce around and shit, you know, because of they was promoting niggas shaking their ass.
Yeah. Remember, I remember them niggas would be dancing like bitches sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll dance like straight up.
Like
shit came out.
twerking and shaking your ass and shit, you know.
That's all it was. All the niggas was doing was twerking.
And that's the type of shit, like I said, basically, they all started crumping at first, or doing like the little, wild, aggressive ass dance. And then that's when Tommy the Clown had basically kind of took it over and then, made the little birthday scene, and then he split up from them. Because they didn't like, the original crumpers didn't like how niggas was shaking their ass and shit. They're like, I'm not with that shit. And they started painting their face, doing all that shit, makeup and shit. Like I said, you could just look at Tommy the Clown's demeanor, man. When he got robbed, he sounded like a little faggot sitting there crying. Don't do this. Oh my god.
Bitch, what the fuck you mean?
Like, nigga, you live in L.A., nigga.
You in LA, nigga.
Niggas get robbed, dude. Your house gets robbed when you live in a bad neighborhood.
And it's not even like he was mad angry, like, you feel me, pissed off angry. He was like,
Crying. He was just
ball-eyed.
That's the
My nigga
whole.
was emotionally hurt.
That's the whole soft nigga. And now look at these niggas that we see walking around. Look at this generation. Niggas like those niggas.
But shit, if you thinking about the jerking niggas shit, they followed right up after the crump and shit.
That's what I'm saying. It birthed the shit. Even like I said, even though the crumping was baggy clothes and aggressive and all of that shit, that whole shit birthed all of this shit.
You branch off, and then it's
Because
come down and
because there had to be nothing like that. There had to be nothing like that whole style since
60.
Since you had breakdancing, right?
Yeah.
Breakdancing wasn't no faggot shit. It was just breaking. Niggas would wear back and shit. All that extra shit. So we hadn't had an actual dance culture like that. That was to the equivalent of your crumping and your jerking and your clowning. And since the 80s, we hadn't had a dance culture like that. So not that we didn't have a dance culture, but breaking was still kind of prevalent. It was still cool. But then all of a sudden, the crumping shit came out, right? And I didn't like that shit all the time because it was just kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? You're just dancing, I'm not into dancing.
Man, that was too much damn hot dancing.
You said what?
You doing too damn much.
That's just weird shit, or whatever. Nah, but then jerking came out of that, and that basically that paved the way for all these dance cultures to come out. So where people will literally say, "I'm in a crew, we dance
I'm in a
this."
I'm in a
I'm in a crew. Like, or you used to catch, or you
have
catch,
America's Best Dancer.
or yeah, exactly, or you used to catch niggas, like you'll catch them jerking niggas who will have bandanas on and shit, and niggas will be tripping with them. Oh, boom. Oh, no, I just dance.
What you mean you just dance?
Well, you dress like me, so I assume you do what I do, so I'm gonna treat you like.
And then that's when they said, okay, we can't do this no more. We got to change our pants,
Yeah,
man.
and now we gotta be faggots.
Now we got to be fags.
Be totally gay. And I used to see niggas like that who would have jerking crews or crumpet crews that if their initial demeanor was too much like a gang, they would change up and become more soft and more bitchy because because it's just a bitch ass breed, basically a breed of bitch ass niggas. You see what I'm saying? That came. So again, if you weren't banging or playing sports, I mean, what other options do you have other than being just a bitch ass nigga? But you still wanted to be cool. You still wanted to do something that you could get accepted for. Because as we know, growing up, either you was banging, you was a hard nigga, or you was a sports nigga, or you was both. Because there was a lot of bangers that was sports players. You know what I'm saying? A lot of bangers that was superstar sports players. You see what I'm saying? So, there was that whole culture of either you was doing that or doing that, but then you had some niggas say, well, I can't do that, and I'm too scared to do that. So what I'm gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna dance. I can dance. You see what I'm saying? So
I get on bitches all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I get on bitches all the time. So this is another way for me to look cool, for me to be a part of something.
And we said that
And
before,
get
man.
bitches.
Jake always want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anytime you be a part of something, you can get bitches, and hey.
Because Jake don't know who they is, so Jake is looking for. Our people are looking for some type of identity elsewhere. So yeah, exactly. Something to cling on to. So that dancing was an alternative to the banging and the
If you
sport.
see the brother's arm right there, that just remind me of like the little fraternities.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jake just want to be a part of fraternities.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can't wait.
Faggot shit, man, just to be a part of something.
Yeah,
lifetime
it's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Of weird shit.
Of
We did
weird
listen
shit.
to each other and we know each other's secrets.
So now we gotta stick together.
we're a brotherhood, which is just weird. But really, all this shit, whether it be gangs, fraternity, all that, it goes back to the Hellenistic period. Because when you deal with the Hellenistic period, you had several mystery cults amongst Egypt and Greece that our people started becoming a part of. And those mystery cults had symbolisms and dress codes and forms of worship and initiations and things of that nature. So what we see with the gang culture and the fraternity culture and even the dance crew culture, because we know where all that stomping and all that shit comes from.
Holla.
It all goes back to the Hellenistic times when we were forced into the Greekish customs, and our people were becoming members of the various cults, the various mystery cults of Greece, or blackenizing those mystery cults of Greece and making them our own, and following different gods of Greece and basically introducing our own symbolism.
That stomping shit goes back to Greece.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's not no African shit. That's Greek shit.
Walking the burning sands and shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's
Of
funny
the Mediterranean.
Because, it's funny because when you watch the movie Rise, they don't never show no African videos of them actually stomping around or dancing and things like that. What they show is how they all in a circle and they just kind of clowning around and just pushing and shoving each other. You see what I'm saying? But then when you go, like the brother just said, you go back to the fraternities, they always stepping and stomping and shit. So we really know where it actually comes from, rather than you just showing a little clip of something similar.
It's a Negro mosh pit.
Yeah, the Negro mosh pit. When they show something similar, in Africa, but it ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, of course they dance in Africa, but these actual dances that are being done are Greek dances. But there were our people that was within Greek, but that were introduced to Greek ideology like homosexuality.
Right.
But again, see, that's where the gang culture, all of that comes from those Greek mystery religions. Because again, the Greek mystery religions all have ways to dress, different symbols, things of that symbolize. You see what I'm saying? That they would represent each other. They would represent themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we see here today. We see a bunch of Hellenized niggas, or also there was Egyptian forms of it as well. Yeah. So either they Hellenized or they Egyptianized. Either way, they're following ancient pagan mystery cults, and that's what gangs and crumping and fraternity, all that is. It's ancient. It's ancient mystery cults of Greece and Egypt. That's it.
Thank
you. Colleges.
Well, yeah, I'm just not even talking about the college. I'm talking about the
here
shit too. You know what I'm saying? All this shit that our people do when they start using symbolism to represent certain things and having certain ideologies and certain dress codes and certain behind closed door policies. Yeah. That's ancient Greek mystery religion and Egyptian as well. That's where it all comes from.
And a lot of them cats don't know that. Like they don't know that that's they.
If they knew that, they wouldn't do it. They have no idea. But this is why a lot of them get certain. They start tattooing their face and all of that. They're showing their dedication to that cult.
The Lord said, "Beware of secret counsels." You feel me? What do? They tell you to before you about to get powdered on the ass and shit. They bring you into that dark ass room, that secret shit where only them niggas know about. Like on what's that shit? Drumline. Remember old boy from? Yeah, remember they just disappeared. He kept just being like, "Where the fuck is you at?" Like, come back, ass all hurt. You feel me? Like, I wish the fuck you would try
I can't talk about what I've been doing. I'm playing.
Yeah, and then there's a movie called Dirty Deeds that starts exposing all of that shit that them niggas do. Like, these niggas be coming in bagels and putting it back on the fucking rack and.
Type of
sick shit is that like?
But
Dirty Deeds,
yeah.
Wasn't that one where he had to do some shit with the bread? And
that's what I was just talking about.
When they crossing off everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all to get into this fraternity. You feel me? It's all for these frat boys. Brotherhood. Yeah.
How the fuck do you get turned on enough to bust a nut in a loaf of bread, tie it up and put it back? Are you fucking? You gotta be sick and demented, deviant, man.
And then you know how they are. They go on the show. Who goes? The police officer goes, buys the bagel, eats the shit.
That's crazy.
That goes through from white. What is that? Those white rich ones, what they call philanthropists.
Yeah.
And put their money in nice colleges.
Yeah.
And that's where they get the ideas from.
And that's where we got it from in the ancient days.
Yeah.
So we were being forced into. Matter of fact, hold that. Go to get second back.
Greece right there. Showing white people with the same thing that they're doing now.
It's Greek faggotry.
Yeah.
It's Greek. It is Greek faggoty. That's all it is. And that's why our people are running around gay as all hell right now. Because of Greek ideals that were forced upon us over 2,400 years ago.
And history still repeats itself.
That's right.
Right there.
I'm saying the same demons is still out
It's
there.
the same demons, man.
They just hopping on the same.
They kill you, kill everything about you, and then go hop on the next host they can do.
Because they're a parasite.
Exactly.
That's what a parasite does. Like you said, host. Parasite leeches on a host, destroys that host, jumps to the next host. That's what a demon is, a goddamn parasite. That's what the white man is, a goddamn parasite.
Hopped on the blacks and Americans, you feel me? Tried to attempt to kill them, you feel me? Blacks and Native Americans are slot.
Go ahead.
Start at the top.
Start at the top of that.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
That's right. The king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to turn from keeping the laws of their fathers. To stop being an Israelite. Stop growing your beard. Stop not lining your head up. Stop not eating pork. Read.
And not to live after the laws of the Most High.
That's right. Don't listen to that guy, the Most High, man. Forget about his name. Come get with Zeus, right? Read.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
So they wanted to pollute the temple. They wanted to just pollute every aspect from top to bottom of Hebrew Israelite life. Read.
And to call it the temple of Jupiter of Olympius.
Which is Zeus. Read.
And that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Because Gerizim was a location where another altar was set up for sacrifice. 6 of the tribes would go to Gerizim, 6 of the tribes would come actually to Jerusalem for certain sacrifices. Now they say, when they said we're going to turn the temple into Jupiter, and we're going to turn the Gerizim and also the Jupiter, which is Zeus. It's also the Zeus, but it's read that.
It says, and to pollute also the temple of Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
So it's basically worshiping two different aspects of Zeus. One Zeus, the high Zeus, which is Zeus of Olympus, right? But the other Zeus, defender of the strangers, which is Zeus Xenia, okay? Zeus Xenia, right? Dealing with that whole loving the strangers thing. People don't understand that loving the strangers thing is a Greek worship of Zeus. Okay, so when they talk about loving the stranger who is a non-Israelite, that's talking about actually worshiping Zeus. Read.
As they did desire that dwelt in the place.
That's right, as they did desire, right? And our people were with it. And this was the beginning of our people going into the Greek ways and custom. Read.
The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
So the coming in of this was sore and grievous. You had certain of our people that was getting with it, but you had certain of our people that was grieved by it, right? And wanted to live righteous. Read.
For the temple was filled with riot and reveling.
The temple was filled with riot and reveling. They turned the temple into a fucking brothel. Okay, as we get ready to see. It was partying and living it up. It was a fucking strip club and a whorehouse in the temple. Right, read.
By the Gentiles.
By the crackers. Read.
Who dallied with harlots.
They was flirting with hoes. Read.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy
places.
places.
They was flirting with and fucking hoes in the temple of the Most High God. Okay? And it was black hoes, our women that was up in there getting fucked on by crackers up in there. In the Most High God's own temple. And the Lord is going to burn you hoes with fire because y'all back now doing the same
shit.
And the Most High going to deal with you bitches. Go ahead.
And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful.
Besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. They had swine up in there. They had the idols. Because remember, they turned into the temple of Zeus. They had Zeus idols. They had all type of weird shit. Homosexuality taking place up in there. All type of weird stuff was going on. Go ahead.
But see, our people ain't even paying attention enough to, you feel me, our history and our heritage to know that they talking about Zeus and Athens and everything in this Bible. Your whole Bible comes up. They just brought up Athens. So you're going to discredit the Bible, but you're going to believe in some bullshit? Some Roman bullshit?
Says verse 5, the altar also was filled with profane things.
The altar was filled with profane things. They were putting profane, unclean meats. They were putting idols upon the altar to the Most High. Read.
Which the law forbidded.
Which the law forbids.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
So it wasn't lawful to keep the Sabbath from them. So this is when our disconnect from our actual high holy day starts to be implemented. Read.
Or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or ancient feasts, Passover, feasts, first fruits, blowing the trumpets, or to profess himself to be a Jew. So we were forced into it. Some of our people were actually subservient to it, no problem. But
The
some
way
of
they
them
are
have
now.
issues. Yeah, just like they are now. A lot of our people, as you see now, ain't got no problem, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraints to eat of the
So let's
sacrifices.
say the king was born on the 19th. Every week or every month on the 19th, you had to come and celebrate that, right? Go ahead.
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
Bacchus, which is the god of wine, Bacchus, Greek.
the Jews were compelled to go in.
Also known as Dionysus, a homosexual deity, which is the lover of Cupid, another homosexual deity. Okay, which Cupid, exactly. Which Cupid is and when you see people in the church when they actually are drinking that wine in the church, that's actually a Bacchus. They'll tell you it's the so-called communion, the Holy Communion, but that's not it. It's Bacchus. That's worshiping Bacchus a lot. Because he's the god of the vine. He also deals with homosexuality. Just like his lover Cupid, who was birthed by Salak. I think, yeah, Cupid was androgynous. As I believe Dionysus was also androgynous. If I'm not mistaken, but Cupid was androgynous. And that whole term, hermaphrodite, that comes from Cupid because Cupid was Hermes and Aphrodite. Hermes and Aphrodite's child. So that's where you get the term hermaphrodite from. Hermes and Aphrodite. When Hermes and Aphrodite come together, the product is
hermaphrodite.
Androgynous of both sexes.
Right.
So that's where you get that term.
That's why that's what they used to say about Godzilla. Like Godzilla.
That's how he was having a baby.
Yeah, he's having babies, but I'm like God.
But you see, you have creatures that are hermaphrodites, lizards especially.
Right.
Hermaphrodites. That does occur in nature. It doesn't occur with humans though. Yeah, there's a lot of. You ever never watched Jurassic Park before? Yeah, they made all of them dinosaurs women, but lizards have the ability to switch sexes. So that's how they were able to have eggs, and all of them was able to happen because they were using lizard DNA to do it.
Mice and rats too. They can change
What?
the sex.
We don't fuck about Jurassic Park.
Well, it's just the whole point of that. It's just the whole point of that lizards and other insects are hermaphrodites. Worms are hermaphrodites. There's a lot of there's hermaphrodites in nature, just not amongst humans and higher level developed beings. Mammals aren't hermaphrodites. To my knowledge.
I know how you feel though.
What was it like? Seahorses?
Well, it's not seahorses. The man has the baby. They're not hermaphrodites.
Males that if they don't be with a woman, they can change into women.
Exactly, and vice versa. Finish that up.
Says, it says the Jews were compelled to in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
Yeah, ivy, because that ivy, that vine, he's the god of the vine. That represents the wine and the drunkard. Go ahead.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Yeah, so who did not get with this Greek shit had to face death. So this is how we see our people start to get initiated into that Greek fashion and custom and actually become Gentiles. And now we see them the way they are now, dealing with different countercultures and secret societies that actually deal with and come from that Greek history religion and system and the Egyptian history religion system.
He's finna come back.
All right.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present miseries. For there were 2 women brought.
That's enough on that. Go to First Maccabees. Go to First Maccabees 1 and 11.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11.
Read to 15.
It says, in those days, when there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
That's right. So it was our people that were saying, let us go and make a covenant with these heathens, right? Read.
It says, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, and they went to the king, who gave them license to do after ordinance of the heathens.
Exactly. So again, even though it was being forced on us, we had some of our people that just wanted to go get with the ways of the heathen. Okay? Saying, oh, it's more beneficial to do like the heathen do. So we're going to do like the heathen, right? Go ahead. And that's a lot of the 2/3. Go ahead.
No.
Verse 14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
That place of exercise, that gymnos. Gymnos, that term means naked, right? So that's where homosexual Greek crackers would actually go into the gym, asshole naked, and exercise. That's where you get that from, right? Go ahead. Niggas bugged the fuck out.
Niggas bugged the fuck
He
out.
got goddamn powder on his face. Go ahead.
Yeah, huh? I thought some shit was wrong with
He on some Haitian shit. Go ahead.
what Haitian do that shit?
Voodoo shit you put to say that you're a spirit, to basically take on a certain spirit.
No.
Put white powder on.
Verse 15, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy
They
covenant.
made themselves uncircumcised. You mean to tell me they stitched their foreskin back on? No. They made themselves uncircumcised in spirit.
Right.
So we already see, this is the thing, you see the spiritual circumcision in the Holy Ghost. You see all these things that are talked about in the New Testament, grace, mercy, all of that, it happened before that. It was spoke about before that. This ain't no New Testament phenomenon. It's all old. The New Testament is just a reiteration of the old. Go ahead,
It says, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
and were sold to do mischief. They made their mind up to do mischief and wickedness of the heathen. So again, though it was getting forced upon our people during this time period, a lot of our people voluntarily became subservient to the heathen practices and ways. A lot of our people, okay? As we just read about. Now go to the second chapter, start at the top of, wait, did you finish 15?
Yeah.
Okay, now go to the second chapter and start at the top.
Second Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simon, a priest of the son of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Madin.
All right, so they were from Jerusalem, right? But they were dwelling in Modin, right, Reed?
He had 5 sons: Jonan, called Cadiz; Simon, called Tassi; Judas, who was also called Maccabeus; Eleazar, called Avaran; and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphis.
Now the Maccabees, because we're reading the Maccabees now, based off of Judas or Judah, based off of his heroics during this time period, right? The whole family, the Hasmonean dynasty, as they're known as, because that's what we actually refer to them as, the Hasmonean, because that was the name of. You read it was telling you a little bit of Matthias' forefathers from John, Simeon, and Jorib. Well, even before Jorib, there was I forget the exact name, but something like Hasmo, something like that, and then they called them the Hasmoneans. You see what I'm saying? So when they called them the Hasmoneans, that's really the dynasty that they were known as, kings, priests, and warriors. Okay, of Israel. Okay, but they got the name of Maccabee based off of Judah. The term Maccabee means the hammer. Okay, because Judah Maccabee was putting the hammer down on all our enemies. Okay, he was leading our people into the war. But go ahead,
It says, and when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem.
So he observed all this shit, our people get with all this Greek customs and whatnot, Reed.
He said, woe is me. Wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people?
He said, woe is me that I even got to look at this shit. Right, Reed?
And of the holy city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Her temple was become as a man without glory, her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets, her young